Spent 5 hours answering questions, but eating pounds of peanut brittle and Coca-Cola at a time when you've been diagnosed with a little bit of a health issue, one might say. You say that everything's fine, but are you going to change your behavior at all? You just ate pounds of peanut brittle.
Zero. This behavior's got me to 81, and all I've got is a little prostate cancer that wouldn't even need to be treated. So I am fine with what I'm doing.
And you're feeling well? You're not fatigued today?
No, not in the least. Not in the least.
A very important question came up from one of the shareholders, and everybody, I could see collectively, sat on the edge of their seats, and that was, if the corporate tax rate were to be brought down, would that help jumpstart the economy? Now, you said no because there's a lot of liquidity, but everybody waited for you to say what would jumpstart the economy. Well, do you have the idea?
What will jumpstart the economy is more household formations, and the more households that are formed, the quicker we eat up the excess housing inventory, which is being eaten up. And I would say in a place like Omaha, it's very small in the way of an excess inventory. But household formations are what cause houses to be occupied, or apartment units, and that is holding back the economy.
Charlie Munger said that he figured we'd absolutely eventually see a value-added tax. Do you think we should have that, and why?
I'm not excited about a value-added tax because it's basically not a progressive tax. I mean, and I believe in progressive taxation in an economy with enormous. I want differences in results. I mean, I do not want equality of results. I want equality of opportunity, but that's going to lead to vast differences in results. But I think the tax code, to some extent, means that the people that get the wonderful opportunities in life like I have should be paying more than the people that have gotten the short straws. And a value-added tax, like a sales tax, cuts across the board.
We've started to hear people talk about pushing for raising the minimum wage because a lot of people are working minimum wage jobs. Should we raise the minimum wage?
The problem with raising the minimum wage is that it takes people out of the labor force. I mean, a market economy is brutal in many ways. It's wonderful. I mean, it's created this country and done wonders for the country overall. But if you set a minimum wage that's too high for the abilities of the person that the market has to hire, all you've done is driven them from employment. You may need an assisted wage in some occupations by the government, so that the employer pays part of it and that it's assisted in some way.
A lot of interest in your potential successor. And you said something today where you said to the shareholders, you need not worry about my successor. He has the Berkshire culture embedded within him.
Yeah.
So it's a man.
It is a man. Yeah, I've used he several times.
Okay.
Doesn't mean it'll be a man 10 years from now, but I hope I'm around to make where that's relevant. But it is a man now.
Is that why you're not naming this person? Because you could change your mind?
Well, the board could change their mind, and we could have new acquisitions that bring in talent that we don't have available now. We could have a change in our relative evaluation of the people. And if we name somebody now and then we changed our mind and the time came that person would leave, whereas under the present system that would not be the case. There's just a lot of reasons not to name the person.
Your profits doubled, so you're much happier, I'm sure, this year versus last year. But you talked about energy being one of the drivers, and of course you own Mid-American Energy. Talked about natural gas. It is at such incredible lows. You love to buy things low. Would you purchase, or you think about natural gas, and should we be converting trucks, converting this economy and this country over to natural gas usage? Well,
natural gas is so cheap, it's ridiculous now. On the other hand, although I think it's about probably $2.30 now. It got down to $1.95 or thereabouts. But if you buy it for delivery 3 years out, you're going to pay $4. If you buy it for delivery 1 year out, you're going to pay about $3.40. So if you're going to convert things, you can't really look at the spot price. You have to look at the futures price, and so you can't extrapolate out to $2 and make decisions based on it. It still looks cheap if you look out at the futures prices, but it doesn't look as dramatically cheap as if you look at the spot price.
You just said you bought 2 businesses in the Netherlands. What did you buy?
Well, we bought one business. We bought a poultry equipment business that fits under our company CTB. We've got a terrific management at CTB, and I love the idea of Vic Mancinelli, who runs that, getting another business to add.
You said that you might get more into newspapers, but you think it's stupid that some newspaper owners ended up putting that same paper that people pay 50 cents or $1 for up on the web for free. Will you change the business model of the Omaha World Herald or the Buffalo News, and will you buy more newspapers?
I think both of those papers have actually made some modifications or are in the process of looking at making a modification. The Gannett papers, you've got dozens of them making changes. This is something that's happening in the newspaper business right now. For the last 6 or 8 years, almost all the newspapers have given away on the net what they were selling. But that has changed. That has changed and is changing big time right now. And I wouldn't be at all surprised if we buy more newspapers.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.